What it do? Welcome back to another episode. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you want to. So today's video is about marriage and relationships. You know, I'm not just gonna make it about marriage because I don't believe that marriage is for everybody. And I'm going to explain why I believe that. But one of the most important decisions that you're going to make in your whole entire life is when you decide who you plan on marrying and who you plan on, or who you decide or allow in your life to be your friends. That's the most important decision that you're going to make in your whole entire life. Some people think it's all about how many friends that they have, how many people that they know. They think it's all about being liked by everybody. But in my 40-something years of being alive in this world, I've learned that it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. It's not about just being married or being in a relationship just so you're not lonely, or just because somebody's nice to you or they're a nice person, but they also have other things about them that you don't agree with. It's not about just being with somebody just to be with somebody. And a lot of people are with people just because they want to be with somebody. They don't want to be alone. Or they just happen to meet this person who filled the void in their life that was empty. And a lot of men and young men and young women get married and get into relationships with people where they have to compromise who they are in order to be in a relationship. You know, so a lot of people compromise who they are just to be in a relationship, and they willing to accept the person as they are, including the flaws, and sometimes they be major flaws about a person, and they just choose to carry that relationship even though they see all these red flags in the beginning. And a lot of people deal with these issues in silence because they're embarrassed about the person that they're with, because they know inside that this person that they're with is not someone who mom would approve, or who dad would approve, or who the world would approve. And a lot of people, they find themselves trying to defend the flaws of other people just because they're trying to be compassionate, just because they don't want to offend the person, or they don't want to judge a person. But my question to you is it really worth you permanently placing somebody in your life who you don't agree with? Is it really worth that? Are you really willing to spend the rest of your life with somebody who does things that you do not agree with? But most people don't really think of it like that. They just think of the now, and they think and they approach relationships with hope, hoping that this person would change, hoping that things would get better. But like I said a few minutes ago, the most important decision that you're going to make in your life is the person who you choose to be with. Because this person who you choose to be with, you're going to have to accept all the things that they do that you don't agree with. And they may not change the things that they do that you don't agree with. And when you accept that about this person, it will bring issues to your relationship in the future, because the things that they do affect you. If this person is an alcoholic, if this person likes to smoke, or they like to go out a lot, or they have a lot of friends, they like to cheat, they are abusive, have personality disorders. Like, none of that stuff is going to change just because you get in a relationship and hope that it's going to change. Like, I don't understand why younger people are willing to even sacrifice their life for something, for things that are not what they want. You're willing to be in a relationship with a person that you know got issues. And there's millions and billions of people in this whole entire world, but you choose to be with somebody who got an addiction problem or an attitude problem or a mental problem. And then you have kids with these people. And that just brings up a whole nother can of worms. It just brings up a whole nother issue. A lot of other issues. But most people are impatient. You know, they just allow whatever happens to happen. They don't even think about the things that they do. They make excuses for the things that they know that they know are wrong. And they just keep all of that to themselves. Like, most people do not even understand what's best for them, because they haven't even thought about it. Most people haven't been taught how to choose, because they chose the person that they're with on their own. They didn't have no type of guidance. They didn't have they didn't have a standard. And most of the time when people meet each other, like you meet a person and you see that this person is a certain way, but because you want to have a friend, or you see this person every day, you start to accept how they are, and then you start making excuses and you start compromising your own beliefs because you met a person who's different from you. So you start compromising all your standards. You start doing things that you know that you shouldn't do. You start believing things that you know you shouldn't believe, all because you met somebody who's different, and you just choose to not stand on what you truly believe. So the question is, what do you truly believe? What do you truly believe? If you ain't a crackhead, you can't be with a crackhead. If you're not a weed smoker, you can't be with a weed smoker. If you don't have an attitude problem, you can't be with a person with an attitude problem. Some people think that they're here on this earth to fix other people's issues. You don't have to even be with somebody who got issues. Why do you make your life so complicated for no reason? Younger people got a fresh slate. You could easily just be patient and wait until you meet somebody who check off all the boxes. But you guys are so naive, so impatient, and you think you know it all, that you just get whatever comes. And you have no type of, you have somewhat of a vision of how you want your life to be, but the things that you do and the people who you choose to be in relationships with, they don't add up to that vision. That thing you got in your mind does not add up with your environment. Your environment is going to create something totally different from what you want. Because everything that you choose to do and the people that you choose to be with is in opposition of what you truly want. And they're in opposition of what you think is morally correct. And no, there's no such thing as right or wrong or being morally correct, but you should have an idea of what you want out of your life. You should have an idea of how you want the person that you choose to be with forever. You should have an idea of how you want them to be. And they can check off all the boxes. In this world, they teach you or people say that nobody's going to be perfect. You can't find nobody that's perfect. No, you can't find nobody that's perfect, but there are some things that you just don't have to deal with. You don't have to you don't have to deal with a person who have an attitude problem. You don't have to deal with a person who has a drug addiction problem. You don't have to deal with a person that has a mental issue. You don't have to deal with those things. You just got to be patient and stop being in situations that are not meant to be situations, and wait on the real thing that God got for you in your life. Like a lot of times you picking people to be with, and it's not. Then they're probably good friends. They were probably good co-workers, but they probably won't make no good husband. And a lot of times they don't even make good friends, because a lot of people don't even have nothing in common with your friends. If all you and your friends do is drink and go play games, and that's all you got in common, what are you going to do when you become an adult? You're going to drink and play games when you become an adult? Or when do you believe that you're actually a mature adult? A lot of people don't even know when they are an adult. And that's why the relationships are bad, and they can't figure out how to operate in this life and have a whole life, a complete life. The life is incomplete because they haven't matured, and they haven't been patient enough to meet someone who's matured to the level to where they need to mature to the level that they desire. Like, you should want to be with somebody who's already mature to the point where they don't have anything wrong with them, anything major. You should never be embarrassed about something that your mate does. You should be proud of your husband or your friends. You shouldn't have to hide things about your relationships. Let me go out here. I'm finna go out here and play some basketball. I'll be right back.